we need to talk about spiritual psychosis. What is it? When you spiritually awaken, that is when you remember that you are not just a human moving around on this earth plane aimlessly. You awaken to the fact that you actually have a soul. You start to ascend. In the ascension process, you learn all about the spiritual realm. You're learning about manifestation. You're learning about the meditation. You're learning about having visions and opening your third eye. You're learning about energy. You're learning about affirmations, law of attraction, all of that kinds of stuff. You're learning that you have gifts, and those gifts are coming online, and you're actually able to heal through energy. You're able to read energy. You're able to move energy. And all of these things feel really, really good because for a long time, those things were stuffed down. You didn't remember them. You didn't know about them, maybe for lifetimes. And now you're able to remember these things about you, and it feels amazing. Spiritual psychosis can happen when we ascend too quickly, when we have a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, when we do a hero's dose of psilocybin, when we do ayahuasca when we're not ready or prepared for it, or when we ascend and we forget that we have two halves of the equation, that we are both spirit and human, that we are both feminine and masculine energies. And until we learn to balance these energies, it might start feeling really shitty. Something that happened to me is I was learning all of these techniques. I was learning all of these things. I was loving being in spirit because that's where I'm more comfortable. I think a lot of us, that's where we feel natural when we start to awaken. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so much better. This feels really good to me. And we're wondering why our lives are not reflecting what we see, what we know, what we are downloading, what we are practicing through manifestation. Our lives aren't reflecting that. So it's like, where is God? Why is God not showing up for me? Why does my life look the exact same even though I've done all of this work? And it's because you're too in spirit and not enough in the body. You have to remember that all of the things that you learn in spirit need to be pulled back down and grounded into this reality. Otherwise, it's going to feel like you're crazy. God cannot show up for you unless you're showing up for yourself. You need to make the actionable steps. The feminine is the one that receives the information, receives the downloads, receives all of these steps, and the masculine is the one that pulls it into the earth realm and makes the actionable steps. So if you're feeling confused in this reality, maybe that can help you. I also have a video, I'll link it down below.